Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here. What I got for you today is not a quadcopter. This is the Racing Rally Speed Glory 1/18th scale RC car. Look at the little guy in there. This is a neat new little car that came out. It's relatively low cost for RC cars, so I wanted to review it mainly with an FPV camera on top. As you notice, I've added an all-in-one FPV camera. Whenever I do an RC car, I like to include the FPV with it. It just makes it more interesting for me and for others too. It's just pretty neat. Let's talk about the car first. It is powered. I got it screwed shut, but it is powered by a big battery, a big nickel cadmium battery actually. 9.6 volt, 600 or 900, I mean, how many? 700 milliamp hour battery inside there. It took quite a while to charge that big battery, and I'm not sure how long that charge, you know, if I fully charged it last night, but we'll see how much drive time we got here. I charged it for about 5 hours. You know, nickel cadmiums take a while to charge, but this one should be charged good enough, I hope. But again, it's a four-wheel drive car. You know, we got power to all these motors, or all these wheels. It has suspension, so I'm hoping that it will turn out to be a good FPV car. It's a good looking car, I'll give you that, you know, and it comes in 3 different colors. One's black, one's this multicolored one, and I forgot what the third one is, but each one of them looks pretty darn cool. They look cool. Let's see if they drive cool. Let's go over the controller real quick. This is the controller, very simple. You just got throttle stick, you got on-off switch, and you got a steering stick. And again, it takes 3 AA batteries that go in here. And very simple, very basic. So most kids should be able to drive this. Again, this is meant for mainly for kids. The way I'm going to do it today, as I mentioned, I put an all-in-one FPV camera on here, cheap all-in-one. I think this is the Eachine TX02, and a simple 3.7 volt battery to power it. And the way I got it mounted is, all I use is this wall mounting putty. It's available for for college dorms, for posters, putting up posters on the wall. It's from 3M. It runs about $3, I believe, at Walmart for a lot of it. And I just put it on there, and you push it down, and it sticks to it. You know, it's just putty, sticky putty. So that's the way I put it on these things, and they go on and come off real easy. So let's go for a drive. Well, not real easy, you know, they'll stay on for this bumpy drive, but you know, you can remove them relatively easy when you're done and move on to your next model and attach it to that. So let's go for a drive of this thing and see how it performs. First, I'm going to start off just visual line of sight driving, following it around, and then we're going to switch to FPV. So hope you enjoy this drive. And the way we're going to do that is turn on the on-off switch, which is right here. Putting it on the ground, turning on my transmitter, and waiting until we get a steady red light, which means we are bound. So let's see how this thing performs. Let's give it some throttle. I don't know, it looks kind of bouncy, so I don't know how good my FPV is going to be. It can move, but as mentioned, it looks bouncy. It's going over the desert. How about if I go slow? Will that be less bouncy? Steering's relatively good. It's not screwy steering like some others. This one's nice steering, so you can get some very good, precise steering on it. I like the steering very much. So yeah, kids might like this. But I got a feeling my FPV is going to be very bouncy. Let's try that FPV. We'll go right to it. Can't make it over that rock. It ain't a rock crawler. Okay, we're going to go into FPV. I hope you enjoy the rest of this flight, or drive. Oh well, unfortunately, my goggles were not fully charged, and they don't have power. So what we're going to do instead is, we'll send this across the desert and see what type of range we get. So let's try that instead. So turn to the left and going out into the desert. I got hung up on a rock. I went over a big rock, and let me take these off too. I don't want to lose them when I go out in the desert here. Okay, that rock was bigger than it could go over. So So let's try that again. I'll go over here, put my cameras there, and try it again. This time I'm going to go up the road. Hopefully there'll be less bigger rocks on the road. It's going. It's going up the road. What type of range can we get? That seems to be it. I would say the range on this is about, oh wait, I'm putting it up higher, I got a little more range. Okay, with my hands up all the way, the range appears to be about 40 meters. So we're gonna have to get closer to bring it back. Let's see here, can I get it to turn? Let's get a little closer. Oh, there we go. So range is about 40 meters, folks. Going over some big rocks there. Here she comes back. So that's a reasonable range for this little toy. But it works pretty darn good. Again, this would be a neat little beginner's RC car. Let and go. We got a little bit of a a little bit of a left tilt when it comes back toward me. Let's adjust that to the right a bit. And the way to do that is via the trim on the steering. We want to trim it to the right just a tad by turning this knob here. Let's see what that does. See if that helps. Oh, I should have turned it the other way. So bringing it back. It's going right over that stuff pretty easy. So let's turn it. We want to turn to the right. Yeah, this is the way I turn it. So turn it to the right a little bit more. Let's try that. Yeah, that's relatively straight. Maybe just a little bit more to the right. But boy, this thing seems to climb over everything. I got stuck in that one big rock. Let's take it out in about. Yeah, I got stuck in that rock. That one stopped it. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm not able to show you any of the FPV, but I am almost certain the FPV from this one would have been really shaky. The other day I did one with a 6. Wait, that rock is way too big for it. Get off of there. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Come on. Here, let's get it away from that rock. So, yeah, I was doing a 6-wheel drive car the other day. Has 6 wheels, very smooth. But you know, these little 2-wheel or 4-wheel cars, they can be rather bumpy. But a 6-wheel is actually very good for FPV. At least it was for me. Fun little rally car. I think kids would like this. Let's go down that way. Bring it right back to us. It's kind of rough out here, and it's doing a good job. Let's go over here. It's really rough. Let's see what it does out of here. Very rough area and rocky. Going right through it. Coming the other way. Okay, looking at it, just make sure. Oh, got stuck in the dirt again there on a rock. Try it now. You're going through the rough areas, get some speed on it so it bounces over those rocks. Doing great. There's another rough area. Going right through it. So for the price, I think this is a nice little car. Doesn't have LiPo, has nickel cadmium battery pack. Ooh, sand. I don't want to go through sand. Fun little thing. So, when will this battery die? That's the question. Let's go over this way. Go through the ant pile. Right through the ants. Right through the fire ants. Ah, do it again. Okay, I'll leave them alone. This thing's got a lot of fun, a lot of power. A lot of oomph to be able to drive through this stuff. Whoa, 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 over there. Almost a rock crawler, almost. You got stuck there on that rock. Almost a rock crawler. See if you can get out of here. Oh yeah. So, like I said, that NiCad battery, I wasn't expecting much out of it, but that NiCad's, well, it is a big NiCad, it better have this kind of power. It's a huge NiCad battery. Like, I think it was like 6 AA's wrapped together. But it sure gives it the power. I'm going to call it quits here shortly because I don't know what else to do. You know, this thing probably can run for 20 minutes, and I don't think you folks would want to be watching this for 20 minutes going around and around like this. But it drives longer than that 6-wheel drive car does. And it's about 1/3 the price. So. Over those rocks very well. But go down there. Breezy day today. That's why I'm not flying quadcopters today. Kind of windy. So I'll do car. Come on, little car. Okay, we're going to call it quits, folks. I'm not going to run this for 20 minutes, but we'll call it quits there. I'm getting tired. And my battery in my hat cam is going to burn out before this car does. So, hope you enjoyed this drive. It's actually a neat little car for the price. So, unfortunately, sorry about that I didn't get the FPV in, but I know that would have been very good FPV anyways, the way this thing was bouncing around. It would have been really jerky FPV. So, hope you enjoyed this drive. This is Quadcopter 101. Signing out.